A heads up that this episode of the Eras podcast contains some strong language. On with the show.
Like, if you can't just be yourself, you go mad.
People were actively waiting for this album.
I wonder if I can ever just not be trying to prove something to someone or myself. My new goal is to not be powered by feeling like I've got to get revenge and prove someone wrong.
Hello and welcome to the Eras podcast, where we get into the music and moments that have made your favourite artists who they are today. I'm your host, Abbie McCarthy, and in this episode, I sit down with much-loved musician, songwriter and actress Self Esteem. She's a triple threat, everybody, with raw lyrics, theatrical live shows, and a sound that's both intimate and explosive. Self Esteem doesn't just make music, she always makes a statement. So let's begin. Welcome to the Eras podcast, Self Esteem. Hello.
Yay, hello.
It's so gorgeous to see you. It feels
You
like ages
too.
since I've got like a proper chunk of time to have a chat with you.
I know.
Yeah.
And I've just remembering that time I came all the way to see you in Tunbridge Wells, and it was raining and I was in a bad mood, and you were so kind to me, and I remember thinking that I love you. So when it came in, I said, I'll do anything for you.
Oh,
So here we are.
stop. Oh, that's nice.
True, you're good. You're really
way
good.
back when. That was like the very beginning of the Self Esteem era, wasn't it? You coming in to play live. That was such a moment. And everything you've gone on to achieve since. I mean, you've recently been having some fun on stage with Mr. Robbie Williams.
I have.
Hello, as his surprise guest. Like, how was that?
It was very amazing. I really needed it. Weirdly, like
Oh.
I had to go to a yoga retreat for 10 days. That's how stressed out I've been by the third
don't.
album.
Well, did that work?
It was working. It was a good start, but and then we got a call saying he wanted me to sing in Manchester, and I was like, oh, I'll fly back early, and then I was like, no, like trying to decide to like put myself first over the career. It's this really big moment where it's like, but it's Robbie Williams.
I'm on my way.
But it worked out that I could do one of the dates,
fab.
and not have to change my holiday. So it felt very university, because obviously he's a big. I reference him, Chris Martin, and Marcus Mumford all the time. It's like, why am I not those men? Right? I see myself as Robbie Williams. I just really relate to him. I saw the movie 3 times. I think it's absolutely. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
genius.
Yeah.
And just even his lyrics, I'm like, they're self-esteem lyrics. Not obviously my lyrics are Robbie Williams lyrics, but like I just identify with him so hard in so many ways. He's such a big deal to me. And he's so kind.
Oh,
I couldn't believe it. So yeah, it was the tonic I needed, actually.
And it didn't disappoint meeting him. That's so nice to hear,
No.
because he's an absolute legend, isn't he?
Such a legend, but then also so it's hard to talk about without me sounding like up my own arse, but like I can never understand people that aren't just friendly and nice and kind, and the cool people I've met in the industry that have made me feel so much worse after meeting them. And they are nowhere near as successful as Mr. Robbie Williams. And he was like, he does not need to even be like that. And he is. It's just, to me, that's the coolest thing you can ever be. And it just sort of compounded what I've been feeling very weird and not all right. And I was like, look at, and he's so in his own skin now. And like the show is brilliant. And the songwriting is so, sorry, I'm really on one. But like, it was just really, it was really good.
And the rest of the podcast is going to be us just talking about
Please,
Robbie Williams.
yes.
I mean, it could be.
So also so fit.
So fit.
So fit.
In the full pink get-up,
Not to
even with the
reduce-
pink trainers, it shouldn't work. But I was like, okay.
It's wild. The chemistry that just oozes out of that man is, yeah. So yeah, very inspiring.
And we're going to try and wrap it up there, because otherwise we would be here for an hour.
Please
Let's talk
do.
about you, and let's get into your eras, because there are now so many iconic moments, a self-esteem trilogy of albums, acting, composing, I mean, your life in a band before that. So much to talk about. I thought we should start, though, with the Epic Award that you won recently.
Yes.
The Visionary Award at the Ivor Novellos. Like, that is some flex to have that award on your mantelpiece, isn't it?
It's very cool. I'm not actually living. I'm staying somewhere in the minute because I'm trying to buy this flat and the Ivor Novello, and it's been taking forever and it's horrible and it's really stressful. And I'm like, but I've been all right. And I'm like, just, you know, I'm living out. I've got like 5 outfits and I'm just like, that's how I've been doing it for like 6 months. But the Ivor Novello, I was like, this is the final show. This has to go somewhere. So I'm quite desperate to get a shelf for it. But yeah, it was amazing. Amazing. I'm really proud of it. And again, and I sort of didn't realise I needed someone to say, well done about songwriting. But when they did, I was like, yes, thank you.
Yeah, and your speech was beautiful as well, so powerful. Obviously, you touched on ageism in the music industry, which is something that affects women way more than men, in my opinion. How would you say it has affected you in your career?
Yeah, it's not explicit how it's affected me, but what basically the whole of self-esteem has just been like way more stressful and fraught because of this, like the ticking clock that I have because I've consumed pop culture like I do. I know that I'm considered past it physically now, and I was,
which is wild.
But it's so definitely there throughout all of society, and it's made it harder. It's made it harder for me to be an artist, like creatively. Like I feel I could have done with another year before I did another album, to be honest. Like I really wanted longer. I needed to think. There's so much about my 3rd album that happened without me sort of having enough brain to be across it in the way I like to be. But I was like, there's no way you can take another year. Like, so yeah, it's just constant. And there's not some like Johnny record label going, come on, you old cow, like you've got to do it now. But it's just the systemic nature of it. It's just like unavoidable. Also, it's just there. Like we have come up against things that have my age or the age range of my fan base is a negative thing, and therefore I don't get to. There's things you still need in the music industry to like get to the next level of your career, and those things are increasingly gatekept and only for a certain type of artist, certainly a certain type of woman, and it's just really frustrating because I want to make 50 records. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, please do.
I know, but financially, like, how can you if there's the career isn't going along with it? So yeah, and it's only going to get worse. But I think if I just keep bleating on about it, at least it might change something slightly eventually for someone who's 26 now who wants a career in 10 years.
Yeah, do keep on shouting about it, because you will be the change that you've wanted to see for so long.
I don't know if I'll change it, but I just realised that my therapist was like, you want, because it's children and things like that, and she's like, you want to be a dad? And I'm like, I do. I want to be a guy that can have a family, but his career does not get affected one bit. And the idea of me having a baby now, that for everybody who works with me would be like, yay, but also like, fuck. You know, it would be. It would completely ruin what we're working towards. And how is that fair?
Steam coming out both of our ears, yeah. But let's celebrate, because you are in.
Also, it's all great.
Because you are in your new album era, and we love it.
Good.
And it feels like it was different for you, right? Because people were actively waiting for this album, A Complicated Woman, obviously off the back of your last album being so critically acclaimed. I wondered how that was, that headspace for you. Like, did that make you panic, or did that make you just excited?
No, it was horrible.
Was it?
Because I consume so much, and I just know, I've just seen it. I've just seen culture be like, they love to think they've found you. And the smoke that was blown at my arse for the last 3 years was just phenomenal. It was amazing. All day I'd be like, woohoo! But knowing there's no way that smoke can last. Like, there's just no way.
It's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's not sustainable, and it's delicious while it's up your arse. But
that's the clip as well, by the way.
There you go. But like, so it was just a weird thing where I was like, no matter what I do, I could make the best album in the history of all time, the king record of forever. But I know culturally there is now it's human nature to have an air of, oh no, I'm not sure, you know. So it was just And then you can get into like, what? Well, you're not doing it for reviewers, and you're not doing it for this, you're not doing it for that. Absolutely, rationally, I'm not, but emotionally, my career was like, felt like no one was interested, and then suddenly, really, really good critical like response to an album changed my life. So it's got a high. It's got the weight of that is high. So I just knew it was going to be hard, and I knew there was no way for it not to. Also, it got pretty decent reviews, and like it's all fine. But it was just I knew it was an impossible thing, and therefore what undercut all my worries and all my stress and all the pressure was just like, make what you want to make then, because you can't win. And I did, and it's not been a fun album to make. I'm so proud of it, and I love what it says. I love how mad it is. I love the show I've made with it. But Prioritize Pleasure like rolled out of me, and it was a piece of piss. And I didn't. But because I'd made this peace with myself that like, just make the record. It doesn't matter. I was going to retrain I wanted to do I still kind of want to do this. Like a keep fit instructor. I want to start like a keep fit class, like old school aerobics, but like cool music.
That's actually a great idea.
I know, really good business idea. I am looking for
no
a
cheesy
partner.
tune, just like an actually amazing
just, like,
playlist.
Properly, and I'm not going to go into that business idea on your podcast.
She's also in her CEO era.
Yeah, I really do. Like, how do I make money without having to move? Exercise. My next record, I want to make from that headspace of like, it's not desperate. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to make the work, and because making Complicated Woman from a place of like trying to please everyone and knowing you won't, I think it's made an interesting album, but it's not made a very happy Becky.
Yeah, it's interesting that it's been like a tougher process, so you felt like you had to kind of really dig in to make this one.
Yeah, but artistically, that's also interesting and fun. And like, I'll look back and go, gosh, what I think me and quite a few of my other friends, I've got quite a few other friends that in different disciplines that creatively we were all like, please, please, please in our 20s, like, we're trying to fucking get somewhere. And then for a few people, it sort of happened a bit, and that was so fun. And then we've all gone into the next project we've done, and I've got about 3 or 4 friends that like, you think it sort of feels like you've got the Midas touch, and then you're in the zeitgeist, and you're sort of weirdly up for discussion in a way that you've never have been before, and it's a blow. It's like it burns you, but then like obviously you just got to keep going, moving forward. Is this making sense? I feel a bit like I'm like,
absolutely.
But it's a bit like honest, to be honest. Like, I don't need to sort of admit this really, but it's not been fun, and I've really been knocked by the whole process. But I, like I was saying, I think that's also it's good for you. And,
totally. Do you feel like almost because you've pushed yourself to make this album, that's then going to unlock the next 20 records? Because you can do it under kind of both headspaces, I suppose.
It's like this weird thing where I don't think I can go anywhere now. I'm here. So my whole career for so long was like, one day I'll get there. And it's just, I guess it's like this, I could talk about it for hours. Like, it's a matter of stakes. There's stakes now. There's something to lose now. There's like all, and obviously I'm overthinking it all massively.
Don't we all?
Yeah. But I feel the yoga retreat helped. Robbie Williams helped. And now I'm like, okay, just make the work, Doc. Just make the work. And the people who want it will have it.
I want to dig a bit more into the creative process, because when you look at the song credits, you've worked on the Self Esteem trilogy with the same producer, haven't you? Johan Hugo. And I wondered how that is. Is it just nice having the same person on board? So like sonically, it's always in the same space, and you can really kind of dig into your vision then.
Like, Johan and me love the same things, and there's a shorthand in that room that means things get done quicker. Like, and yeah, I just knew where I was. I knew I wanted to make Prioritize Pleasure just like on steroids. Like, so of course I was going to go and work with Johan in the same way. And it's been sweet for us as well, because, made the first album with the strings were like my mate Galp's in her bedroom in Manchester sending,
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then we had a day on this where we had a, huge string orchestra kind of thing. And you're like, oh, this is so beautiful for us both. Like, but it was always going to be a trilogy. I kind of wanted to say this was the last Self Esteem album, and whatever comes next is like Rebecca Lacey Taylor. I'm not allowed to.
That could be the next era.
But
the label is saying no. Is that what you're saying?
No one's saying no, but I also think that's probably a stupid idea as well.
Yeah, build up all the monthly listeners and then be like, new project.
Should we just make it even worse for the old Spotify? But yes, so it's, you know, I'm closed that era now.
I've tried to kind of summarise the mood and theme of the 3 albums.
Okay, go
I
on.
want your thoughts. So Compliments Please was about love, validation. Prioritise pleasure is then like, fuck that, you don't need it, you can love yourself. And then A Complicated Woman is almost between the two things because, you know, building confidence, self-love, it's an ongoing journey, isn't it? It's so messy, it's never simple. What would you say are the themes of the new album? That's my rambling thoughts.
That's exactly it.
Over and out.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good. That is, well, even I didn't realise that until recently. I was like, so Compliments Please. My first album is literally called Compliments Please.
Love me.
Yeah, literally. Which I always thought was funny, but then it said, you know, it got to the point. And then Prioritise Pleasure is like, me. and then I was like, if I was like smart and wanted to make loads of money, like the third one would have been like, here come the girls, you know, like, but I was totally honest, and it was like neither of these things have quite worked, so there's no answer. I'm still trying to find it, and nothing is as binary as what I've been saying on album 1 or 2 as well. It's complicated. But I didn't even realise I'd been doing that myself. But that's also truthful to my journey. I'm not special. Like,
yeah,
it's just
I felt like I was really sort of confident and naive when I was younger, and then I became a really anxious overthinker, and then I'm trying to get back to what I was, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And now I'm like, there's some beauty in the naivety, and there's Prioritise Pleasure. I'm sort of too knowing, and it's like and by Complicated Woman, I do feel like exhausted and really fed up of it not feeling any easier yet, and more disillusioned than ever, but then also more, at the same time, more sort of calm and peaceful than ever. I think it's a hopeful album ultimately.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's quite bleak, like, but it got bleak. Like, my life is all I ever wanted was like where I got to on Prioritise Pleasure. Obsessively put it first my whole life, and then to get there and then it not magically feel amazing. I was like, what?
Oh, what?
That constant, I am like terrible at this, and I think most humans are, but like when I've got that, I'll be all right. When I've got that, I'll be all right. It's fine. I just need this. Now I'm like, oh, when I've moved into the flat and the Ivor Novello is on the shelf, I'll feel better. Like,
and then I'll get a trophy cabinet, and then you'll fill it with more. And it's like the goalposts are always shifting, I guess, aren't they?
Exactly, and it's the enemy of any actual peace and joy. So I think Complicated Woman is me going like, I got it all. Oh, and it's still miserable, right? But that's cool, exciting.
That's why people relate to it so much. I think everyone's always figuring everything out. We're all blagging it, really, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, that's my point. Like, if I wanted to have like a big crossover hit, that like I would have been like, I love myself, I love my body, I love my life. Everything's fine. I've solved it. Because that's what pop music wants. It has to be so binary and so concentrated and cut through and make sense. And I was like, I can't do it.
But then is that not your era of pop music? It's like the truthful, authentic, you summarise these big ideas in great pop songs. That's what you do, isn't it? Not like the rest of the kind of pop sphere. So you have to stay true to that in a way.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was always going to, but there was a bit of me that was like, I'd love this album to not be like everything I've ever done. It's like, oh, could you do something that will, you know, do better on TikTok and all that. I'm sick of whinging about this, but I'm going to. But again, because I'm like CEO as well, I'm like, yeah, like the way to have something go global is to make it very, very direct. And I don't want to, and I couldn't.
Yeah, so no.
And I sit here with very low TikTok and very low streams. But I'm being, it's true to me and what I want to do. And also I don't have a choice, it turns out. I can't like manipulate this into being something it's not.
You've got to be truthful.
But like this, you know, like apprentice winner me is like, just market, you know, just do that and then you'll be all right. But I can't. It's like I'm just a people. It's like chronic people pleasing. It's like I want to win. I want to win the industry.
Win music.
Yeah, and you can't predict any of it.
No, you can't.
And the key to my next bit of my life being a bit calmer and happier is to not be bothered about that bit. But I can't help it.
Yeah, totally.
Because the industry is so broken. And, you know, the best day in the office is when, you know, 69 went viral in India. And
Did it?
Yeah. Which I love.
Love that.
But that was like way more exciting as in a business sense to everyone who I work with than, you know, a song being written that, you know, is important to me or like truthful. So it's separating the commodity from the art, right? And I'm too aware of both of them. And you can't kind of master them both unless, you know, you can't try to master them both, I don't think.
So what are your...
Sorry, I'm really on one.
No, I love this. This is what the podcast is for. What are your favourite tracks on the album?
There's a song called Deep Blue OK that feels like a sort of conclusion. And that came out on me in like 10 minutes. It was kind of wild.
Wow.
That I do this all the time, did as well. Like sometimes songs just go like, and they just feel so correct. There's no second guessing. It's like better than any drug ever. It's better than any food ever. It's the best feeling in the world, and I live for it. In Plain Sight is a collab with Moonchild, Sanelly, and that was one of the most amazing days of my life musically, to work with her and what came out of me, what came out of her. And the song is, it healed a bit of me actually making that song. I mean, 69, I don't care. I think it's genius.
I mean, it's the first pop song I've listened to that's had a pegging reference in it, I'll be honest.
I know, and watch them all start now.
Can you imagine?
Chapel Roan's writing
you need
it.
A movement.
No, probably in. I just thought it was. I've been collating my phone notes again for another project, and it's the note from like 2020, I think, and I'm like, list of write a song about sex positions and reviewing them.
and then it's done. Anyone you ever meet in the future, you're like, yeah, this is what I like and don't like.
Exactly. Just cutting out the middleman.
Absolutely.
No grey area.
Done and dusted.
All the shit happens in the grey area. No, none of that.
I wondered what was the song that kind of like unlocked the album, because Focus is Power was obviously at the kind of big return track, and it had that empowering essence again. Was it that, or what song was it?
There's footage of me doing I Do and I Don't Care.
Oh yeah.
And it's in the I did like 33 festivals one summer on Prioritise Pleasure, and in the middle of that I thought I needed to go and start writing the next album, of course. So I am like completely like exhausted. I look awful. I look like half dead, and I'm like in the studio going, this is rubbish, this is shit. I'm really beating myself up about it, and it's I Do and I Don't Care, which I like think is like a very important part of this
opens
whole
up
thing.
the whole thing. Yeah.
and it's not, I don't think it's shit. So it was just like, it's just, that sent to like unlock how I get back in. Focus is Power was a real like bulby, like, oh, I can write a pop song again that's still got a message but still isn't like too weird or whatever. The Curse actually was really, I wrote that on guitar, and I'm very bad at guitar, and it sounded like a really subpar Oasis song, and no one, it's hard because I'm not a band, like I can't, so I sent to my managers, and it's not their job really to say whether or not a song's good, and they were like, and I was like, and then Johan wasn't that keen on it, and I was just like, but I think this song is really good, I'm sure it isn't. I could feel it in my head, and it was so frustrating because I knew what it needed to be, and then when it finally did happen, and everyone loves that now.
Told you.
But that was a good one. That was a good one of saying like pop song with pop tropes and football terrace kind of attitude.
Yes.
About something we all know about and none of us talk about. I was like, that's what I want to do. That's so yeah. I've just listed the whole album, but yeah.
You're like, it's a masterpiece, and we're like,
It's a masterpiece.
we know.
I mean,
You know.
how long have you...
I wanted to talk about the video to Focus is Power because I just like love the joy in it.
Yeah.
You and your girls all singing with each other, and it's set in the community centre in Rotherham, right?
Yeah, so thematically, I kept coming back to childhood, and because I'd felt so miserable, and it was like, why are you doing it anyway? It's very simple. Like, I saw this Reiki healer, okay?
I'll admit it.
And, get ready for this intel. She said, just try and go back to why you started this in the first place. Wow. Thank God I paid someone to
So
tell
how
me
much did you pay for that info? Best not to say.
But it's so stupid because I was like, yeah, no, that's so true. And I'm such a sucker for this stuff, but I don't care. It works. And it was right. It was like, I got me sitting here going, oh, I've not got enough streams, or, oh, I haven't, it's never enough. It's never going to be big enough. Is it directly blocking any joy and pride, or Baby Becky wanted to just be like a singer on stage. Like, she didn't get to enjoy that then because I'm like, oh, but I'm on TikTok. Like, try and let Baby Becky feel fucking good about where she's got to.
Because, take us back to Baby Becky that would have been in that community centre. Well, that would have been like your first experiences of dancing, singing, performing and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I wanted to like recreate the hall I did all my dancing and singing in as a kid. Just also like the community centre and the way that these places still exist. They're so like important. The stage in that community centre is like just as important as like the Hammersmith Apollo is. It was arguably more exciting. Like, and I was musing on this, like, what it's still me stood here, and like what's the difference in the dopamine that's running through my veins is the same.
Oh, that's nice.
So why does that have to get bigger? And there's loads of that basically. It's like, and then Focus is Power. There's a George Michael live video of Freedom and in the round, and it's just the most perfect, beautiful, joyful video ever. And he's on fire in it, and I've always wanted to recreate that. So that was the germ of that idea. And George Michael as well. Coming back to childhood me and George Michael and Madonna. And if I think about those three things, I feel better.
Yeah, you're like, I will be healed.
Yeah.
The artists we speak to on the Eras podcast all started somewhere, experimenting, finding their sound and chasing that first breakthrough. If you're on that journey too, having the right tools can make all of the difference. And that is where Gear for Music, today's sponsor, comes in. So whatever stage you're at, they've got the instruments, the tech and the equipment to help you create, record and perform at your very best. From guitars and synths to studio mics and drum kits, plus all the latest releases from over 1,000 brands, all in one place. With worldwide shipping and a dedicated customer service team, Gear for Music make it so easy for you to get your next piece of essential kit. And buying gear is a massive decision. We get that. But every purchase comes with a 3-year warranty and a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can shop with confidence, no stress at all. Head to gearformusic.com today and take the next step in your musical journey. I also love that you kind of find ways to reflect your northernness, your roots. Like, I remember that Glastonbury performance in 2022, it would have been.
We think so.
Yeah, and it was like, the bodysuit that was like harking back to the shopping centre you used to go to as a kid in Sheffield. Is that like a conscious thing to kind of show all the different parts of your identity, or?
I think so. And Meadowhall Shopping Centre was artistically meant a lot to me because it was like where I went there every birthday, or like it was the first place you were allowed to go without your parents, like, and it represented like America to me. It was like a mall and all these things I dreamed of, this like escaping and becoming much bigger than I am. Was all accessible to me in this shopping centre in Sheffield. So it always what it represented. And then Madonna's cone bra, and then I'd always had this idea what I love to do is like take iconic, expensive, glamorous things and make them mine in my way. Salad and chips, we call it. So It was my salad and chips way of saying from Sheffield. I'm Madonna and Gautier and Sheffield.
I love that. Are you Sheffield's Madonna? I guess you are.
Oh, well, you know, if you want to start saying that.
If we want to start that on the rumour mill, then let's do that. Let's talk about the great all-female guests on the album, the new album. Nadine Shah, Moonchild Sanelly, Sue Tompkins. What drew you to these collaborators?
Well, Sue Tompkins, I always thought, fuck me, it would be amazing to work with her. And I got in touch, and it was actually part of a longer thing that I'd like to release the whole thing of maybe one day with her. I'd love to make a whole record with her. I just think she was amazing. And it was a nod to my Six Music Daddy community, you know?
The active Six Music Daddy community.
Also, and Nadine obviously is a sister, and I'm a massive fan. I was so glad she wanted to be involved. Johan actually put me and Moonchild together because he made her album. So I think it was one day we spent together, and we wrote Big Man and In Plain Sight.
Gosh.
And she's another, just like, she gets it, and I see her and she sees me, and she's very special. And I'm just really honoured that they all said yes.
Yeah, I mean, what an iconic list.
Yeah, I think that as well. I like the by association, the eclecticness of them helps my point of Complicated Woman, I think.
We shouldn't miss out anybody as well. Some kind of different features. Julie, Hesmondhalgh and Meatball as well. Absolutely iconic.
Yeah, I mean, add them to the list and then you really see what's going on in my brain.
Yeah, that's very self-esteem, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I'm very, what would Julie do is my kind of, another one in my head often. And Meatball, do you know of Meatball?
Yeah, love.
Like, she is my favourite thing ever to consume. Twice weekly podcasts, Sloppy Seconds. That's all I care about. It's all I consume. I don't listen to music. I don't like when I'm like in campaign and working.
Yeah.
The only thing that calms me down is listening to Meatball talk about what she's been up to that week. It gives me so much joy. Yeah.
So we've spoken about the music, but we should talk about the amazing theatre show that you assembled for the album, which blew everyone's minds. I mean, it's like 5-star reviews across the board. A one-off kind of event. You don't really do things half-assed?
No, I wish I did, because I spent every penny I've ever made on it. But no, of course, it's worth it. It's been feels like legacy work, right? And important. And I was really stressed out because me and Tom Scott conceived it, and loads of prep, loads of thinking about it, and it was getting closer and closer to having to sort of put my money where my mouth was, and I was really freaking out because the industry is broken, like I've said, and the only place to make a living is live. And then I was making my live business become completely, it's going to be impossible to make money. But I knew I had to. It's so weird. And then, again, it's the mix of like boss brain versus artist brain, and it's an uncomfy place. And my mate Lindsay Mendick, who's an artist ceramicist, who's my world, and she was like, well, what else are you going to spend your money on? And I was like, that's such a good point. Like, and yeah, that unlocked it all for me. And I was like, I have to show this album in this way. And I think it was worth it. And I think, and now I've got this like big mad beast of a show that, on my deathbed, I'll be like, I did that. I'm really proud of it. I really can't wait to do it more. Like, I think that's going to help my brain. Because we just did it for that 1 week, and then I'm sort of itching to play live.
Yeah, I bet.
To people that know the songs now. That's going to be so healing. Yeah,
because obviously for this show, people didn't know the songs yet.
That was part of my thinking as well. Like when people come back with new records, and then they have, they come and play their big London gig back, and it's 10 songs nobody knows yet. And it's hard. And I was like, how do you sort of fuck with that concept, and how do you play with the form? And that's where sort of theatre and sort of enabling some sort of listening that you kind of can't get at a gig was part of why I did it. But I think, and it was amazing enough, but like I think when you add in people knowing the songs and that show, I think, well, I'm hoping it's going to be banging.
Yeah, the energy will be incredible.
Hope so.
But the theatre show, there was one very special guest in the audience.
Janet Taylor, my mother.
Sorry, first VIP. And then the one and only Madonna. Like, have you been the same since? Because that's Mother, that is icon of all icons.
Yeah. She also, like, genuinely the reason I started Self Esteem, and I'm not even just suddenly making that up retrospectively. You know, I was always aware of Madonna. I was always a fan. Ray of Light was like a big album for me as a kid. And then I went, I think I was like the documentary, the book, and I just, you know, when you go in those like deep dives about someone for a while, and I just got quite obsessed with her and inspired by her drive, right? And she's had to fight for the right to have that, and has pushed through the uncomfortableness and never second guessed that, and that changed everything for me to see a woman do that and survive it and succeed. Around the similar time, I had a fucking nasty bastard have threatened to put pictures of me out, right?
Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, classic. And we've all, like, countless women I know have had this happen. And the Madonna's sex book happened because she was being threatened with topless pictures. And so she was like, well, I'll release my own version of that and I'll make money off that. And then that makes that redundant. And in a way that made me feel, made me less scared about, I mean, nothing ever happened, but, it helped me identify that isn't fair, and I am capable of control. And then you sort of apply that to everything. So it's even why, I'll make the joke first so you don't get to, and I mean, like, Madonna, the sex book. I'm really rambling here, but the sex book as a concept, I apply that to everything.
Because you can control the narrative always.
Yeah.
As long as you're kind of out ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was life-changing to realise. And then she has become, I've sort of worn my references of her very proudly. But, like, I'm just so grateful to everything she's ever done.
Did you, like, catch sight of her when you were on stage?
Halfway
Did that
through.
throw you at all?
No.
You knew she was going to be there?
Well, I'd said to my managers, like, don't tell me if she's coming or not. I don't want to. Because it was all, like, quite exciting, the idea she might. Yeah. But then I was like, I doubt it. And, like, let's just, and I didn't want to go, I was trying to avoid any disappointment feelings. So I was like, I just don't, like, it just doesn't matter. Either way, whatever. And then on the day of it, Cherish, one of my managers, was like, hi. So, and I was like, I think you're giving something away here. and then halfway through, I saw her. And classic me, like, I can't go to a barbecue, but I can thrive under the pressure of Madonna being at my gig. You know what I mean? I was like, right, fine, absolutely fine.
Fine, best show of my life. Here we go.
Just no danger, like, everything fine. It's so annoying, but, like, I literally can't, like, make small talk.
But she loved it. I saw, like, on her
it.
Instagram, she was like, I saw an amazing, like, show, and she obviously, like, added you in it. Like, have you guys spoken since?
A little DMs. Oh. But I sort of feel like our paths will cross again, or I at least hope they will.
You're like, I'll make sure they will.
It's just so important to me. But it's also, same with Robbie Williams though. I was like, what do you do when you meet these people? And it's important for me to explain to them that, like, their bravery has inspired me, and that literally helps me. But whenever anyone, sometimes I meet someone that's like thanking me for what I've done, and I'm like, oh, it feels uncomfortable. It's fine.
But you're Sheffield's Madonna, so you should say I know.
It's weird. It's just funny, the concept of telling someone how important they are to you.
You are, like, collecting your heroes like Infinity Stones. Yeah. I mean, just doing your damn thing, meeting them all.
It's cool. It's it just feels good to be like, oh, if someone who has inspired me likes what I'm doing, I'm like, okay, cool, good, deal.
Yeah, and then that gives you a buzz, and you are now inspiring so many people as well.
Yeah. Oh well, I don't know. Maybe. Hope so.
I want you to take us back to the day that you wrote your game-changing song. The defining self-esteem anthem.
69.
Yeah. Exactly. I do this all the time. Like, I remember hearing this for the first time and just being like, wow. Like, my goosebumps had goosebumps. Like, it had such a instant, profound effect on me, as it would for so many other people. Like, you must have known it was magic, right?
Yeah. I'd had the idea for ages. It had been in my head for ages. Production-wise, I couldn't get it there. And then when I finally got it there, when I got those drums on it, I was like, and I walked home from the studio with it in my ears at like sunset by the sea. I was like, this is the first time I've ever felt like every single bit of this is right. And I'm not frustrated and I'm not like second-guessing it.
And that was the first take?
I said it once in Sheffield, actually. Yeah.
And then you never changed it?
No.
Because it had that emotion in it, I suppose.
Yeah. This is what I mean about this sort of when all the elements, well, I'm learning this slowly, but like when you enable the music, the art to happen without agenda or time constraints or pressure, and it's just in it, and everything is just right.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has this special, different bit of magic about it. That there's loads of songs that I think you can hear that over, in it, and you can't engineer it really. So it's sort of sad because you can't do it. Every single one can't be that. But that was the first time it had really happened in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also like, we'll see. And then Lamach played it twice in one show, and I was like, oh, I think that might mean something.
A double radio play must mean people like it.
He's always been so kind, but he's not going to do something he don't want to do just because it's me. So we were on my mate Kelly's balcony to have its first play with like a bottle of champagne and that, and then it did it again, and I remember thinking, oh, something might finally be happening here. This is interesting. And then my every day was different from then on. So
when you started playing it to like your management, friends, did they all have that initial reaction of like, yes, this is something?
No, I think so. I think everyone, was loved it, there's no way of knowing. And also it didn't have any of the, the things that you think you need to have a hit and all that. Mm-hmm. Back to the industry bit of it and the commodity bit of it, it defied any of that. So I was like, well, it'll only ever be like an obscure thing. And it kind of was obscure, but it didn't exactly, it wasn't number one, mm-hmm. but it changed my life and my career for sure.
Mm-hmm. What was the inspiration for it initially? Because obviously you got like Baz Luhrmann's Sunscreen is kind of like the blueprint for like a spoken word song. Did you start with that? Or?
Yeah, I got quite obsessed with that again. I was obsessed with that as a kid. Mm-hmm. Remember, it got played to me. The first time I heard it was in an assembly at my school by like a cool teacher.
Yeah, definitely a cool teacher.
And I was like, whoa. And it never left me. It still is like perfect. That I love it. So again, it was like my, I have ideas for songs. Sometimes I have an idea of what a song should be, like write a Sex Position song, or it sort of says write dirty, Christina Aguilera,
mm-hmm.
Dirt. What's the new dirty? So look out for when I finally do that.
Is that in the works?
Yeah, well, it's in the note. But I'd had like what's my Baz Luhrmann Sunscreen.
Okay,
that was all the prompt was, and I think it was, a collection of my notes really, and I just sort of, instead of trying to work from one and make that out into a song, I sort of collated them, and then it was all really quick and weird, and I wish I could control how that happens. I can't. I just sort of wait. Deep Blue, okay, thank God, because I was like, oh, that was a similar thing. I was like, okay, what, you get one an album? We just got to wait now for the next one.
I remember seeing, I do this all the time, as part of your Glastonbury performance that we spoke about a couple of years ago, and I was in the crowd with like a couple of my mates, and we were just like sobbing and hugging. It felt like such a moment, obviously, because we're big fans of yours, but Glastonbury has such a power to put artists in the spotlight, and a festival full of so many special moments. But that for you was like a career-defining performance, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Could you feel that on stage?
Yeah, it's like that. I do this all the time happening, and then suddenly like things that were like desperately difficult to get suddenly became easier. And like the phone was going every day saying, do you want to, you know, all the things I'd ever wanted to do were just all happening all the time. And I'm talking like my dream was like, I'd always wanted a tube poster. I'd never had a tube poster. And I was like, oh, that just happened without it. It wasn't even a fanfare for that. And you know what I mean? Like all the things in music that I watched other people get and I didn't, like, it was crazy. And then Glastonbury, I knew it was going to be important and I knew it would be, you know, finally my stage would be busy. But I didn't think it was going to be like that. Like walking out onto that stage, you know, I've walked out onto thousands of stages and never gone, fuck me, there's loads of people here.
Right, yeah.
and not expected it. I've walked out and gone, oh, there's not as many people as I expected. A lot. And it's the first time I was surprised. And then again, I was shaking and I was like, nope. I remember like saying no to my hand.
Yeah.
And then we got on with it.
Yeah, I was definitely an emotional wreck. But your shows are that. Like, they're so cathartic for people, and your fans have found like a release through seeing you live and also a community.
Yeah, I'm really proud of that. I think so much of music, I mean, I've been going to gigs since I was like 15 to 14 and feeling like I'm not cool enough, I don't look right, I don't, you know. I think naturally my MO is to write that. I don't want anyone to come to a gig and feel like that. Like, especially, you know, that indie scene that I was in throughout my teens and 20s was so exclusionary for women. Like I never saw another woman like me once. Everyone was like waif, singing a third above. You know, there was no, there was a lot of women as an accessory, not as the thing. And yeah, I don't know. It's really important. It was really important to me to make an environment that no one felt like they couldn't be up there too, I guess. Mm-hmm. And I love pop music where it's very aspirational and like I'll never be Sabrina Carpenter. I love all that, but like I think there's a part of me that wants to be like unattainable, but I can't do it. And then I, you know, part of my enlightenment has been like, why would you want to be anyway? And it's all for like me at 15. I want to make a show of me at 15. Wouldn't have gone home thinking like I need to be more this or that, or I would want to feel part of it. But that's happened naturally. I think there's a part of me wanted to be like the cunty girl in the middle with the spotlight on her, and then it started to feel like more and more stupid. and the result is what the show is now.
So coming from that indie scene where it sounds like you were sort of, you know, made to feel small as a woman, going out as a pop star on your own, was it important for you to like pick a stage name, to go for Self Esteem? So almost when you step out as Self Esteem, as that character, you can be kind of the emboldened, super uber confident version of yourself.
I called it Self Esteem because I always said, like, I had two band names rattling around, which was Self Esteem or Sex Appeal. They were just like band names I thought weren't shit.
Both? Yeah, both
yeah,
good.
Because all band names are shit.
We're running out of good ones, I think, yeah.
So no, it wasn't a conscious thing. It wasn't a conscious thing to have like a persona or anything, but it's sort of, the cheesy line is that becoming Self-Esteem has given me it. Like I had none. I really had none. And I didn't realise. It is me, but I think Self-Esteem says what she means a lot more than I do, because it's ambiguous enough to say what I mean, right? That's the beauty of art. You can put what you mean into it, and people can't really email you about it. But if I say how I feel, I still struggle with that in my real life. I still don't say what I mean.
So the music's almost still a reminder to you as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes as you're performing it, being like, yes, I need to be more direct and advocate for myself and all those things.
Yeah, and sometimes, like certainly lately, I've not been listening to my own bullshit. I need to put a Self-Esteem record on at the moment. You know what I mean? Really do.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you practice what you preach? Like, do you think you have got to self-love, or is that still a thing that's just out of reach?
Yeah, I think there's a level now that I never go below, but still find it very hard, and I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, help. I think we all are, aren't we, honestly? Do you have like a mantra that you try and live by through the music?
What would Julie Hesmondhalgh do?
Yes.
What would George Michael do?
Yeah.
It's not a succinct mantra, but it is. I kind of lately have been wondering, like, can I ever be operating on, can the petrol ever not be like, I'll show you? I wonder if, I wonder if it could, I can ever just not be trying to prove something to someone or myself.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe not. I think that's all right. But yeah, my new goal is to not be powered by feeling like I've got to get revenge and prove someone wrong. I don't know who I'm talking about either, by the way. I'd like, yeah. So that's not answering your question really, but like doing it for me is the goal.
Is the new mantra. Okay. Obviously, lots of people got into you through Prioritise Pleasure because that album was the one that kind of took you to new levels. But your first solo album had some bangers.
Thank you.
Honestly,
Justice for
Girl Crush,
compliments,
the
please.
best. There's loads. Are there songs that you think people have slept on? If so, discuss.
Well, no, I don't know. I thought that was so crossover and mainstream, but it's actually bonkers. There's loads of songs on that album that I love. Steady I Stand, I thought was a Radio 2 hit. But it's always interesting, isn't it? Like, because I always think, like, if Taylor Swift released the best, what would, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not about the songs; it's just about like who you are and where you're at in the zeitgeist for a song.
And are like the audience actively waiting.
Yeah.
So I guess now there'll be so many of your fans who are going back and being like,
Hope
oh,
so.
okay.
Could do with it.
What were your expectations around that, debut solo album era? Because obviously first steps out on your own.
I was really happy with it, and I was free of the constraints of the band I'd been in. So I was buzzing. I actually played the Village Underground on that first thing, which is, the last slow club gig we played, Village Underground. So I was like, okay, this is fine. This is totally fine by me. It was only then, back to the industry and the sort of like, oh, it's not quite worked. Oh, it didn't get a Mercury nom, And I was like, what? It's flopped? Really? Because I'm thrilled. So
I'm delighted.
So but truly, like, I'd been so unhappy and I felt just so free, and that the small amount of people that took to it and liked it were like, that was heaven, and I remember thinking, like, I don't need it to do anything other than what it's done, but then it crept in of like, oh, it should have been bigger, oh, I thought this was gonna go huge, oh, it hasn't. But like the metric of my life so far, it had gone huge.
So it's like, personally, you were like, this is a success because I'm free. I've actually done it. I've set out to be the pop star that I want to be. But then externally, you were like, oh, okay.
But look at, like, you can track that on everything now. I mean, it's never going to be enough. I could be king of all music and be like, oh, that's not quite gone well enough. Yeah. So you know what I mean? It's just like it's relentless, and the sooner I just like let go of any idea of where it goes further than the art, the better. But yeah,
I think it's time to shimmy over to your acting career.
Oh yes,
get out of the jazz house, baby. To talk about Cabaret. Yeah. How was that? Did you just like love every second of it?
I loved it so much. Loads of reasons why. I think I was like a musical theatre girly at school, so it was like satiating that part of me. The production is incredible, and the design and everything about it, the direction. I was like a big fan of that production, so it was like I'd won a competition to be in it. Like the community of the cast, like we all it was a cast change, so we all started together, and just being around like 20 people every day that are as daft as me and as sort of full of love as me, and it was so nice to be around people that are just on, and after 15 years around people that don't want to say I love you within 2 days. Like, it was just lovely. Doing something new was amazing. A new challenge. There's just so much, and also not having to think about how it's going to go down. Like, I was doing a job. There was no Instagram. Didn't have to come off stage and see myself. I mean, there was something so beautiful about that. And you know, baby Becky, who didn't get into drama school, being the leading lady in the West End, was like, there was like the petulant part of me was like, yes, ha, see.
Yeah, that is satisfying, isn't it?
It was satisfying. And also, like, for my parents, like, for them to come to something, they weren't in a grotty venue. They were coming to like a beautiful theatre to see me get paid. It was like, that felt good.
Your other foray into theatre was making the soundtrack for Prima Facie, featuring just the absolute superstar that is Jodie Comer. And I got to see it in the theatre, and it's such a powerful play, isn't it? You leave really feeling different, like just phenomenal. How was it making a soundtrack? Like, do you have to approach it quite differently to making an album?
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting if I do another soundtrack, because it felt like Prioritise Pleasure could have soundtracked it anyway. So the themes in Prima are very similar, and they're sort of you're working through the same idea of like defiance and you're right to be free as a woman and be safe. I work well with prompt, so the director would send like, this scene needs to feel like this needs to feel like this, yeah. and I really loved that. I found that very enjoyable and fun, and also not having to fight, you know, there's some lyrics in it but there's not many, so it was really fun to just focus on music and melody, and I loved it. I really loved it. But it was also, you know, but it was a big responsibility because the play is so important and Jodie is so important. And I was like, I have to bring, you know.
And the fact that it's a one-woman show, isn't it? For people that haven't seen it, it's Jodie doing everything and mostly on stage the whole time. So the music has to do some of the heavy lifting as well.
It's the third character in sorry, you know, in Sex and the City where they're like the city was the fifth girl. But the producer James Bierman, like he's so smart and knew that I would know what to do, kind of thing, and I felt very held by everyone else involved, and it was just a joy. I'm very, very proud of it. It's going on tour now as well. Jodie's going to tour it, which is just amazing. Can't believe it's getting another life with her. Yeah.
Because is it West End and Broadway it's done now?
It did West End and Broadway, now it's doing a UK tour, which is just amazing. And then National Theatre Live of it was like something like the most watched NT Live ever or something.
Wow.
It's such a huge, important thing, and I'm so proud to be a part of it.
Yeah. That is so epic, isn't it? People will be seeing all these amazing things that you're achieving right now, whether that's with acting, with music, whatever adventures probably come next. But you are so far from a viral overnight success story, right? Like you have been working so hard since you were a teenager, since the slow club days, you know, being a band, very much like in the indie trenches, gigging up and down the country. What do you remember of that time in the band, and like what did that teach you that's made you, you know, the pop star we see today?
I don't regret any of it, and I think it made me really that's my advice all the time to people starting out, and I suppose it's different, it's so different now, but like relentlessly playing gigs is why I'm good at playing gigs, you know, like and learning to be agile on a stage and work with whatever you've got, because we played every shithole ever repeatedly, and it was really hard, and again I'm still healing from some of it, and I realized like I was on high alert all the time as a woman. Like it's not a safe environment for women. It's not designed for women. It's my soundbite all the time, but when they're like, why aren't there more female headliners, and I'm like, I don't think it's promoters not wanting women. I just think you've got to be 10 years into a career probably to be a headliner, and most women, like, it's a shit laugh, like, and you don't feel all right, and it's not, and you know, there's no mirrors backstage, and if there are, they're covered in stickers. There's nowhere to get changed. Everyone, you know, I had so many weird experiences with like tour managers and things like that. Like, it's unregulated, it's unsafe, and I don't blame people for not doing it. I didn't want to do it, but you know, I'm surprised I stuck with it as well. So what as miserable as a lot of it was, has made me so grateful for what I have now. And also we were a good band, like, and it wasn't all miserable, and I learned a lot, and mostly what I don't want anymore.
But 5 albums, that is like a whole era of your life, isn't it?
That's the thing. It was successful, and we had a fan base, but I learned, like, if you can't, even outside of art, like, if you can't just be yourself, you go mad. And artistically, I couldn't do what I wanted, and then I felt like a burden often to everyone else was quite like-minded, and I was very different, and I tried so hard to be palatable, and and it just sent me mad. So I learned that never to do that again.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So that is a proper learning experience, isn't it? And obviously now you can control your own world that you're building with your music. That being said, what do you want, like, your legacy to be?
I think I'm so plagued by this idea that, I'm not big in the ways that the industry now needs you to be, right? So I'd love my legacy to be like, you can still have a sustainable career that means something and is big without going through the system in the way that you're expected to. Got to believe that like music, all art we can't just be on our phone about it anymore. You know what I mean? It can't just be reduced to that eventually. And as nice as it would be to have some sort of viral thing buy me a house, like, I am proud that I'm forcing my way through without necessarily all the things that I'm meant to have. I think that's my answer.
Yeah, so your legacy would be that you did it on your terms.
Yeah. It's back to that, like, not conforming thing, to, like, I did it how I think it should be and how I want it to be, and it still exists. It's still here. I'm still on a lovely podcast with someone who wants to talk to me about it. Like, it's just, if you don't tick boxes and if you don't conform, you still have worth. Something like that.
Something like that. That'll do, won't it? I've got one more important question to end on. Who is going to play you in your biopic one day?
Madonna.
Oh my God. In your biopic, Sheffield's Madonna.
Sheffield's Madonna, played by Travis Ross, my friend Trav, who's in Cabaret. He's the most talented actor.
Is that what we're going for? Locking it in?
Travis Ross.
Incredible. Rebecca, you are the very best, as usual. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Self Esteem, everybody! Thank you so much to Rebecca Lucy Taylor for her time. What an amazing guest. So refreshingly honest and candid and funny as well. If you enjoyed this conversation, please do rate, review or subscribe wherever you are listening right now. The Eras podcast is a Good Karma production recorded at Metropolis Studios. All right, that's it for now. See you next time.